Incantations of black magic unearth unspeakable horrors in Providence, Rhode Island. Evil spirits are being resurrected from beyond the grave, a supernatural force so twisted that it kills without offering the mercy of death. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Hemvar. Today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of H.P. Lovecraft's The Case of Charles Dexter Ward. The Case of Charles Dexter Ward is a 1927 novel published in 1941, which is a few years after Lovecraft's death. The complete version was first published a couple years later, and the novel itself takes place in 1928 and is about, of course, Charles Dexter Ward and his disappearance from a mental asylum. The young man is from Rhode Island, and his family is well known. This mental derangement has included physiological changes that are odd, such as the disappearance of a birthmark and the appearance of a mole. He had become obsessed with his ancestor, Joseph Serene, who was an alchemist, and that kind of precludes this. The story mostly follows the family doctor, Marinus Bicknell Willett. He investigates the activities of the insane Ward and grows more horrified as he does. While I mostly haven't been that drawn in by Lovecraft's works, this one does have some authentic magic, but of course it takes a sinister bent like the Kabbalism also mentioned in the novel. Of course, this is a macabre novel dealing with madness and the occult. The concept is rather cool. This contains the first mention to the myth figure of Yog-Sothoth, and the Necronomicon also plays a role. Historically, we find influence in Wild Tom Halsey of 140 Prospect Street House, also Walter de la Mare's The Return from 1910, and potentially Nathaniel Hawthorne's The House of the Seven Gables, and maybe even M.R. James' Count Magnus. It is the same style of most Lovecraft. It feels like 20th century Gothic and something I feel like I've read before. The greatest pieces of weird are so vaguely hinted it's not that interesting. They're just so vague. I realize it's hard to balance, show too much, and it loses the mystery and horror. Likely why short stories with Lovecraft's terminal climax kind of does work. In this novel, it just seems a little too long. It is a novel, right? We don't get a lot of those from Lovecraft. In fact, sure, we have another one. The narrator is detached, though, in this case. He's stating the facts, hence the title of Case. This has a certain dramatic effect, which is cool that Lovecraft pulls it off, but it's a little dry, I think. I did appreciate the reverse archaism, though, and that it still feels like archaism, because it is, and it fits the story, especially in a certain part in the letter that deals with the strange happenings. It's really more of a mystery novel, though, than anything. It's creepy at times, but again, it's just very vague. The ending is cool, no more nor less. After this, I read The Shadow over Innsmouth, and that proved much more satisfying, and I like that ending a lot more, and that uses Lovecraft's terminal climax and his crazy ideas better, I think. And there's really no overt racism in this story, which is a thing you have to worry about with Lovecraft, though maybe you could look at the Kabbalistic view as anti-Semitic, either purposely or just by common trope. I'm not really sure in this case. But anyways, Liam from Liam's Lyceum, I'll catch you next time.